My name is Jeanette, and I'm a high vibrational being, and I am back. I don't think I'm going to do any readings on any cards. I'm not using no cards, so be mindful that this is not a reading for oracles or maybe tarot that I'm not gonna pull, but I have information that I've been um, reading, and I think it's very important to reveal my theories and my findings, what I resonate with the collective. It's going to come from the book that I've been reading from. Also, I did get some downloads. I did get some channel messages for the collective. So if you resonate with my messages, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please know if you would like to donate to my channel, you could donate to $ Cash App, $ BELIEVE 201. My email is in the description box. If you would like to send any questions or any concerns that you may be facing, um, depending on the question, I will try to get back to you. I know that I'm very, very, very connected to my Father, the Most High, the Creator of all. Know that I feel energy, know that I am able to pick up any negative energies that is not of the highest good. So if anybody is trying to get on my emails or trying to um, be false, just know that I will not respond to your emails. Um, so yeah, this is just some facts, which I have another book that I did read that can also is also a resource to the Atlantis, the empires of Atlantis that I've been researching on. This Atlantis, the Antediluvian World book, it's also referencing to the demigods, the gods that lived here at one time and who are reincarnated. We are reincarnated at this time to help the collective raise their consciousness. We are connected to the Creator. We have been here before on this planet, and we are back. We are here to help the planet. We are here to help humanity. We are here to help the lost souls to connect back to who you truly are, to wake up and realize that everything that you were taught is all a lie. And everything that a lot of the history that was written down, that was taught in school, is not exactly the history that is true. It's not exact. It's not in 100%. There's a lot of omissions that has been taken out of history and not taught to us, our children, our grandchildren. But this is the time where the age of Atlantis is a new world, it's a new beginning. The old is leaving. The iron stage of the world race, this race that was more about killing, sacrificing, doing things, oppressing, enslaving humanity. That stage is it's going to be slowly. God is pushing that stage of race, the hidden agendas, these politicians, they're all going to be, there's a lot of washing, a lot of endings is coming. And the new world of Aquarius, it's in the process. That's why many people are either taking their own, they're not able to handle the energy that is happening at this time. Many, God will bring their house down. Many of these leaders will lose their jobs. And God's children, who are the golden children, who are reincarnated at this time, these are God's prophets that are here to help the collective. So what I'm going to start off, because I ended it off with the fourth root race of Atlantean, and I'm going to read some of these things in the book. So please, if you don't want to listen to this, you don't have to be on this channel. It's okay. But I think it's very important. This is not taught in school. This is very ancient history, very old, that has been omitted out of history books, that has been omitted out of the Bible, that has been hidden for thousands of years. Our ancestors that have walked on this earth, that left so much for their future children to open up and know who you are, the power that you hold within yourself, the DNA that it's able to activate within yourself so you could start remembering. In order for you to do this, you have to do your work. You have to connect. You have to sit and meditate. You have to cleanse. You have to rebuke all negative energies and go through that dark of night of the soul, so that way you are able to connect. So the chronologies of gods and kings. By the time Christianity had taken over as the state of religion of the Western Roman Empire in the 4th and 5th century of our era, the traditional view of cynical time has been largely replaced with a worldwide entirely based on linear time. We have cynical time and we have linear time. So I did research on both times. So I'm going to give the definition of each. For Christian and the Jews before them, time had a beginning and an end. It was a single uniform narrative directed towards salvation. So cynical time is referred to the wheel of time, time of cynical and consistent of repeating ages. Many is the trackable repetition of events of our lives and history. Example of cynical time, concept of time in linear cultures were based on cynical reoccurrence of cosmic and earthly process. Rhythms of days and nights, seasons, ebb and flow. Lunar and planetary cycles determine social processes and were carried over into the cultic practices. So a lot of the teaching is esoteric and cult and occultic teachings, which has been omitted from the books. Linear time is that perceived by human senses as a referential point that has a beginning and an end. Linear time is like an arrow launched from past, crossing the present and heading for the future. So those are linear times and cynical time. Thousands of years, okay, sorry, ancient traditional chronologies based on a concept of cynical time and successions of worlds were thus replaced with the much shorter biblical chronology. It was based on the authority of the Bible that Archbishop of Ireland James Ussher famously stated in 1650 that the world was created at nightfall preceding Sunday, October 3rd, 4004 BC. With this shorter chronology, which effectively limited the totality of human experience on earth to the span of the last Kali Yoga, there was clearly no space for the idea of an ancient world ruled by gods. All of this was quickly regulated to the realms of fantasy, at least when it was not openly persecuted as dangerous heresy by the church. Thousands of years before Ussher, the Brahmins of India calculated the duration of a day of Brahma as 4.32 billion years, compromising the Mahayogas of Kalpas of 4,320,000 years each. The ancient Maya similarly employed a unit of time of 23,440,000,000 days, or over 63 million years, called Alatun. There was ancient gods and goddesses during these times that lived on this world, that walked on this world during this time, and this history was omitted. It was taken out of Christianity because they didn't want the truth to be revealed. They didn't want humanity to know how powerful he was, and the benevolent, the benevolent beings that were once here on this earth, that walked our earth, the gods, the goddesses, the demigods. Yeah. These were actual computations observed the Dean of Maya Studies, Sir Eric Thompson, stating correctly day and month positions. It says back in the Mediterranean world, the famous Roman statement Cicero 103-46 BCE declared that the Chandelians had preserved upon monuments observations of the stars extending back to 470,000 years. Berossus, the great Babylonian historian, was flourished in the 3rd century BCE, mentioned dynasties of kings dating back to 432,000 years. Such concepts of superior antiquity, so clear, contradicting biblical, biblical chronology, were anathema of the church. I don't know how to say these people's name. I don't. They're very ancient. So I'm just gonna spell it Eusebius of Caesarea, going back to 260 340 CE. One of the early Christian fathers would therefore go on to the episode of his Chronicons, the lies, of Berossus and Manetho concerning their dynasties of gods and kings that never existed. We should forgive the criticisms of these early Christian authors and thank them instead for having preserved in their critique so many valuable fragments of ancient kings' list of chronologies known for centuries only through the indirect testimony of largely hostile Christian writers. Very few of these kings' lists have survived in their original form. All we can rely on today are but fragments of what must have been a complete and extremely accurate chronology. There has been kings and very powerful beings on this earth, and they admitted it out from the church because they didn't want people to know. And the Western world was not knowledgeable about divine beings that walked. They did, but they wanted to erase that history. But there's books, okay? This book is very old. This book is written um, 1949. It was copyrighted in 1949. And this is also, it relates to a lot that was in this book. It's referencing so much that is in this book about the history of the Egyptians, the Hindus, the Buddhists. These were different times of beings that were here to help, that were loving, that were not abusive. There's a lot of history, but there's some points right here. There's some points that I like to give. You could go out and get this book, The Empires of Atlantis, if you're interested. I'm not promoting this book. This is what I've been chose to read on my journey, and I've read a lot of books on my journey and who exactly I am, my purpose, why I'm here. I am no longer afraid. I'm healed. So I'm continuously receiving these messages, and I work with beautiful, beautiful spirits. I work with beautiful spirits, and they are here to help. Whether you believe it or not, it's not my. It's you only take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Because I do not impose any of my research and my belief upon anybody. It says here, the great care that was put into the preservations of these ancient king lists, as testified by over 18 versions of the Sumerian king list that survive in various museums around the world, and the minimal variations that characterize the various copies should be held as positive proof that we are here confronted with much more than a fictional account complied by deluded priests to glorify a local ruler or dynasty. At this time, the surviving king lists are currently the result of compilations of several different sources, some historical, some others of a clearly religious or mythological character within numerology, astrology, also certainly played a role in defining the sequence and years of reign attributed to each king or dynasty. Notwithstanding all their internal inconsistencies, gaps, informations, and incredibly long durations of reign, the Sumerian king lists draw a remarkable, coherent picture of our past as it was conceived in ancient Sumer at the dawn of recorded history. This view appears, moreover, to be a substantial agreement with that of many traditional and esoteric chronologies. There is a belief in a clear division of history into pre flood and post flood periods, a sequence of world ages related to astronomical cycles and consecutive rule of divine, semi divine, and finally purely human dynasties. Also, there is the idea of a spiritual fall or descendant reflected in the progressively decreasing regional lengths attributed to the kings of the antediluvian and post-diluvian periods. These are the flood periods. They were gods, demigods, and spirits of the dead that walked on this planet. I won't get into that. If you want, you could read um, the book, Prehistoric Rulers. I want to touch on that, which is the Palmero Stone. Is the earliest surviving fragment of an ancient Egyptian king list dating to the 5th dynasty, 2494 to 2345 BCE. It is at least 500 years old than the earliest known redactions of Sumerian king list. Only a small fragment of a complete survives, containing the names of 9 prehistoric kings of Lower Egypt. Had the list been complete, it might have contained as many as 120 names, their respective regional lengths. Fortunately, more fragments of the same king list were preserved in Turan papyrus and in the few surviving excerpts of Manasseh contained in the works of Fablius, Josephus, Sextus Africanus, and the Christian fathers Eusebius of Caesarea and George Senucleus. These were rulers, but there were kings. There was a king list. A lot of their names were taken out of this list, or they were taken out on purpose. But there was the royal canon. The Turan King list, also known as the Royal Canon, is a hieratic papyrus dating to the reign of Ramses II, 1279 to 1213 BCE. The papyrus was allegedly found intact in 1820 in the ancient Egyptian city of Thebes, but it was so damaged that its journey to the museum in Italy, it disintegrated into hundreds of small fragments to the point that a complete reconstruction may never be possible. They destroyed that on purpose. I believe it was done intentional. The papyrus contains a list of rulers and dynasties, accompanied by their respective regional length, and is considered the most complete and extensive of all Egyptian king lists. Before listing the various mortal dynasties, the papyrus lists various dynasties of gods and demigods. Unfortunately, this portion of the text is significantly damaged. Only the last few lines survived, which contains the following totals: Venerable Samsu Hor, I don't know these kings, that reigned from 13,420 years, reigns up to the Samshu Hor 23,200 years, total 36,620 years. King Menens, the extent information has been recreated, and there's a table of the gods here. And they reigned for thousands and thousands of years. It's not like a politician here who is president for only 4 years. These people were in power for thousands. So the lifespan was so healthy. It wasn't polluted. It wasn't distorted energy. There was no karmic energy. It was very healthy. From what I'm getting, these people just reigned thousands of years in a life where it was very productive. Since the reign of King Menes, the first pharaoh of the dynasty, is conventionally dated to 3100 to 3050 BCE. This means that the beginning of Egyptian history may go back almost 40,000 years. It says Edwin Meyer, whose translations of the Royal Canon remains the most accurate to date, lists 9 prehistoric dynasties, among which we find the Vulnerables of Memphis, the Vernables of the North, and finally Shamsu Hor, usually translated as the companions or followers of Horus. These two were preceded by a dynasty of gods that included a total of 10 divine names. This is the names of the numbers of the antediluvian kings in the Sumerian king list. So there's a list here. I'm not going to read it. There were gods reigning up Shamshu. There was 20 gods, 10 gods, and different time reigns, different times. Prehistoric, that is a lot of information. It's a lot. It's so much information that I am so amazed and thankful that Spirit always they lead me to our forgotten ancestors. It leads us to the forgotten gods and goddesses that walked this earth, the kings, the royals that really were here and had powerful gifts, and they were our ancestors. But their names were taken off of many things to make them distinct, but they cannot do this because there is so much sacred land, and so much is being excavated at this time as well, showing that they were here. These people came from the stars. The Egyptian priest Manetho, who lived in the 3rd century BCE, was the author of a history of Egypt in 3 books, which enjoyed broad circulation in Greek and Roman times. Fragment of his work appeared in books of Josephus, such as Contra, against Apion, dated 94 CE, and were later quoted by the early Christian father Sextus Africanus, ca. 160-240 CE, Saint Germain. Many names listed here. Most of the work of the Christian authors were of critical nature, were lost in antiquity, and only survived through more or less complete copies and translations, including the Chronographia of Malas, 4191 through 578 CE. There's so many information, so many books that shows the reigns of the gods, the demigods, the other kings, the 30 kings from Memphis, the 10 kings from Zenas, the shades of spirits of the dead. So much. There's so much here, so much to talk about, so much to learn that has been hidden. It says here Palmetto was very important because of its vital source for the history of the old world, the old kingdom, and for example preserves names of numbers of royal families during the first 5 dynasties which were not otherwise recorded. I did the research on Palmetto, so this is what I got when I researched Palmetto stones. And then I wrote, our entire history needs to be rewritten, and it will. The history that we was taught was not, it's not true. It's not true. A lot of it is not true. Mauna Theos was flourished in c. 300 BCE. It's the Egyptian priest who wrote history of Egypt and Greek, probably commissioned by Ptolemy II. So I looked at his picture in Google, and it shows an Egyptian god, Egyptian, and a divine being, very divine. Then I started to receive messages. Yes, on 1/3/24 at 5:54 p.m. I am seeing like the ring of fire. It is also the ring from the movie, and I got some. I did the research on that. Then I see a circle of darkness inside this ring, and light outside of the circle of the ring. So I got three meanings: the ring of fire, and I have some things that I researched here, which I'm going to share. The ring of fire, it's a tectonic belt of the volcano and earthquakes. It's about 40,000 kilometers long and up to 50 kilometers wide, and surrounds most of the Pacific Ocean. The ring of fire contains 750 and 915 active or dormant volcanoes around 2/3 of the world. And I've been getting a lot of messages about volcanoes and earthquakes. And I also had a dream where I saw fire coming from the sky. I'm not saying that it's fire may actually come from, but these are volcanoes that are erupting. These are ancient volcanoes that's going to be or is happening at this time. Then these mountains, these rings of fires are in Mount St. Helen, Karatoa. I don't know how to say these words. Mount Rapehu, Papateptu. I don't know. These are ancient. These are foreign countries. Mount Tambora, Maulua. I know that's in Hawaii. Mayan volcano is in Hawaii, and Mount Santa Maria, which is in North America, the United States. The Ring of Fire countries are Japan, New Zealand, Canada, Antarctica, There's about 450 active volcanoes in the Ring of Fire stretching from the Andes Mountains of South America all the way north to Alaska and the across the Pacific and through Japan, Oceania. These count for about three-quarters of all volcanoes around the entire world. Then The Ring, the movie The Ring, teenager. The Ring, there's a movie about teenage girls. Kati and Becca discuss an urban legend about a cursed video taped that causes whoever watches the video will be killed within 7 days after viewing this video. Where's my phone? Oh, hold on 1 second. The phone. Where's my phone? Oh, because I wanted to do more research on this, the Ring movie. Because there has been a curse placed on the collective, and Spirit guided me to research the Ring movie. um, the Ring movie. It says, why does Samara keep killing? He was presumed. He also presumed that Sumata does not truly want to hurt anyone with her power, but Sumata sinisterly confesses to him that her powers are too strong and that she will not stop hurting others, indicating that she is slowly becoming psychotically insane. There's somebody who is going mentally insane has done who has done magic, who has cursed other people. Somebody here has cursed other people. Anyway, I got that. Then I got the Joker. I got the Joker. I was getting the Joker will be caught. Gotham City is traditionally depicted as being located in the United States. Sorry. Gotham City is traditionally depicted as being located in the U.S. of New Jersey. Um, Gotham nickname isn't from Batman. It is a centuries-old insult. Unfortunately for Batman, Gotham's nickname was established. It's actually first popped up in the 19th century. Arthur Washington Arthur Washington, sorry. It actually first popped in the 19th century. Arthur Washington Irving's work Yes, the Rip Van Winkle and Sleepy Hollow guy, while Gotham denotes an elegance that New York City business names have capitalized on. The nickname was originally intended as a jab at New Yorkers. Gotham translated means goat town, simple-minded fools. So Gotham, they made Gotham City is made out to be blatantly that people in New York, the United States, New Jersey, were fools, simple-minded. They were ridiculed. They grew. They're. I'm getting a lot of abuse here. I'm getting like people in power like to oppress people. They would use them for their business, and they would laugh at people that would work in their industries. It's like the puppet putting the strings on humanity and laughing at us while we do their work. Their intentions was never to help any any culture, people in need. They were never intended to serve humanity. Their intentions were always to hurt and harm and sacrifice and do whatever they needed to do to collect. To collect. I'm getting collect. Then I'm getting The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. I've been getting a lot of movies today. A lot of references to movies. The Wizard of Oz. And then I saw Three Witches. The witch is dead. The witch is dead. The witch is dead. Spirit said, the witch is dead. I'm here, and I got the three witches will meet their fate, and Dorothy is still continuing to follow her divine light to her destiny, and these witches was not able to stop her. I'm getting the Tin Man. I'm getting the Cowardly Lion, and I'm getting the Scarecrow. I'm getting that Dorothy had the courage to move forward. I got that through the brain. She was able to not let these witches manipulate her into going and following the yellow brick road, because she had the heart, which is the Tin Man. She had the heart to move forward and not be blinded by the past and distracted by the witches of, I'm getting the Wizard of Oz. The witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. Let's see. The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard. The Wizard of Oz was 1939, could be significant. There could be a tornado in Kansas. Somebody's name could be Judy. and she had a dog, Toto, and whisked away in their house of a magical land of Oz. They followed the yellow brick road towards Emerald City. Emerald City is the heart. Emerald City is the heart of all. Emerald is green. Emerald is beautiful. To meet the wizard, and en route they meet a scarecrow that needs a brain, a tin man missing a heart, and a cowardly lion who wants courage. The Wizard of Oz asks the group to bring him the broom of the Wicked Witch to the west, Margaret Hampton, to earn his help. The Wicked Witch of the West. Let's see. The metaphor. The story is an allegory for the rise in populism that was occurring in the 1890s, as well as for the debate over whether to hold on the gold standard for currency or to begin using silver. There's going to be a change of money, currency. So I got the Witcher, and I did my own interpretation of the Wizard of Oz. But what I'm seeing here, there's going to be from gold to silver. And I'm getting, don't you see how gold is a more powerful, then they lower it to silver? It's like they're like oppressing people. They're like oppressing people. Then they went down to bronze. They went down to pennies. Oh, but anyway, Toto, what were Dorothy's last words? I don't know, and I don't care. The Wizard of Oz, 1939, Wizard of Oz, beloved by children and adults like, holds a special place in cinematographic history. An adaptation, okay? The hidden message of the Wizard of Oz. Oh, the Hugh Rockwell suggested in 1990 that the novel was an allegory about demonetization of silver in 1873, whereby the cyclone that carried Dorothy to the land of Oz represents the economic and political upheaval. The yellow brick road stands for the gold standards, and the silver shoes Dorothy inherited from the Wicked Witch. I got it. So we're going through a cyclone. God is clearing out all this negative energy. We're going back to the gold, to the gold. We're going back to the golden age. We're going back to the age of Aquarius. The yellow big road as representing gold and Dorothy's silver slippers were changed in the movie to ruby slippers as representing the populist call for backing the dollar with silver. Oz was the abbreviation for ounces. Do you see a reference to the populist call for the government to coin? Dorothy's weakness include the fact that she is gullible and not too smart, but she doesn't let these things hold her back. Her strength included always to be kind to others and help others no matter her problems. That is the gold to the story The Wizard of Oz. Yes, they wanted Dorothy to think that she was not smart enough, but she was smart enough. She followed the yellow brick road. She did not let people intimidate her. She did not let anything get in her way. She was smarter than anybody. So somebody tried to smart somebody, but guess what? That Dorothy was smarter than them. And we're going back to the yellow big road because we're going back to the age of Aquarius, and we're going back to the age of gold. The End of Oz by Danielle Page. Ding dong. These people are sick. I can't read this one because that's not exactly. There's a lot of subliminals in this reading. And this Wizard of Oz message. Um, then I got the Terminator. I got the Terminator. Iron Man. Cycle is over. The cycle is over. Age of Atlantis is the new race. Age of Aquarius is the new age. The Terminator. Another movie that Spirit was revealing to me. Disguised as a human cyborg assassin known as the Terminator travels from 2029 to 1984. So he goes from the future into the past to kill Sarah Connor, who her name is, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator, Linda Hampton. Sent to protect Sarah is Kyle Reese, Michael Brenn, who divulges the coming of Skynet. I got another reference, but I leave that alone, an artificial intelligence system that will spark nuclear holocaust. Sarah is targeted because Skynet knows that her unborn son will lead the fight against them. With the virtually unstoppable Terminator in hot pursuit, she and Kyle attempt to escape. Again, always, always, always attacking a divine being like Sarah, who is going to be having this beautiful child who is supposed to help terminate this Terminator. This artificial intelligence. We are in the world that they are using artificial intelligence at this moment. Those are the references that I got today. Those are the messages that I got today. I'm really am getting that the ancestors are awakening. They are awakening within us. And there's no stopping God. Nobody can stop God's prophecies. Nobody can stop. No one can stop what God is going to do on this planet. And is always for the highest good. And I'm just going to say thank you. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. And I love you all. Namaste.